So I'm getting a little bit frustrated with all the people that are shaming grading companies for their abilities or what they can do, or saying one grading company is better than the other, and citing false information. So I'm going to go on a little rant. If you want to hear it, stick around. Hey, welcome back, family. Thank you so much for joining yet again. I see. Let me state this for the record. I am not anti-CGC. I am not pro-CBCS. Okay? I'm not even anti-PGX. All I'm trying to say is, when I talk about one company over another, is that we should have options. Okay, that if one company has a 12-month lead time and the other one can do it in 2 weeks, we should, that there shouldn't be such a big big difference in the prices of the books. If one company says it's a 9.6 and the other one says it's a 9.6, then they should be relatively similar in price. That's my feeling on it. The person who founded CBCS was the person who set the guidelines at CGC for the grading. So I have to believe this. And of course, you'll still see people that are fans of CBCS that are ripping CGC, and people that are fans of CGC that are ripping CBCS. And guys, come on. Can we all come together as one family? This is getting a little ridiculous here. So I'm watching one video by Comic Book Investments, and he says, this is why I'll never send a CBCS. And I watched the video because I want to see what he's talking about. And he's referring to a Hulk number, was it Hulk 102 or was it I think it was a Hulk 102. That was graded by CBCS as a 1.5, and it was missing the big section of the cover. You remember back in the 60s when they were all the unsold books, they didn't mail back the books, they just ripped off a section of the front page. And then he starts comparing to other books. See, this is a CGC 0.5, and it even looks better. And I'm like, the cover is detached. You can see the mold on it. It's disgusting. I wouldn't want that book. And he said there's no way that's CGC would grade a book with a torn off section off the cover as a 1.5. That just shows you that CBCS is very easygoing with their grading. And I'm like, if anybody watches my channel, they know the books I've gotten recently. I just got back a Fantastic Four, number 67. Okay? And if you look at it, it's got the whole section of the page missing. It's got a stamp here from the company that received the book. It's got color rub all over the back, and they gave it a 2.0. The same ripped off section of the cover that he's saying, CGC would never give that. And you're right, they gave it a higher grade. And to be honest, I've seen some of the books that he was showing, this is a 0.5, and it presents better. No, it doesn't. It actually looks disgusting. It looks like if air got in there, it would turn to dust. The book that had the ripped off cover from the Hulk, it presented pretty decently, and it was ripped off from the top, which is kind of funny because it actually still said Hulk. Enough with the, my dog is better than your dog. My grading company is better than your grading company. If we just come together as a community, we can actually start to see some leveling off of these prices and have some choices. Okay, I think what CGC investors, and I have a lot of CGC books here. I do. It's what I sent all my books to until I started saying enough with the long lead time, and I wanted to have some options. But I don't value my 9.8 of one company more or less than a 9.8 of the other. I mean, have I seen grades that I look at it and say, they gave it a 9.8. I don't believe that. Yes, but I've seen it from both companies. Okay, again, the graders are human. They're going to make mistakes on both sides. The criteria for grading is still the same. Okay, and if we can just, stop feuding all the time, a $100 book from one will be a $100 book from the other, and then we'll have choices. And that is all I'm driving at. So that's my little rant. I wanted to get that out and get this recorded because even though you'll see this after, I wanted to record a different video and I wanted to not have this bubbling up inside of me. So, since I'm going to be airing this one on a different day, probably Sunday, just want to remind everybody, I'm still trying to get to 500, which will get activate the Venom Annual number 1 CGC. They must be grading lately. 9.8 in white pages, but it's also autographed by Case and Stegman. That will be the prize, and you'll see the link here for it. Make sure that you like and subscribe. Please subscribe, because I got to get to 500 so I can get this book out of here and get the next one up on deck. You're going to like to see what that one is. But as always, I'm out.